Hello from Germany. So Amika's cleared off to the park for a little while. She's with her mum, and I thought there'd be no better time than now to do a van tour. So come with me. I don't really know where to start with this. This isn't going to be your luxurious van tour. This is just going to be a basic one. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll talk about the build quickly. And if I can remember that far back, which was about 8 months ago, the order in which we did it. So first thing we did was we stripped the van out of all of the builder stuff that was in there. There was some framework stuff in there, so we took all that out and tried to repurpose a lot of it actually where I could, but a lot of it was just oily and useless. I'm not going to go into all the details about how we, got rid of the little bits of rust and painted it, because there's a million videos like that. This is a van tour about how I've designed my van, which is obviously quite unique and different to other people's. So let's forget all that. If you want to see all that, just go and look on somebody else's channel. I'm sure you can find what you're looking for there. So first thing I did was obviously I insulated the van. What I went for was really thick insulation. So I think in the roof I've got 50mm Celotex boards to really hold the heat, and I've gone for as much as possible without obviously reducing the height of the roof. So it is literally it's probably come down about 10 or 15mm from the actual beams of the roof. So we did that. The next thing we did was we insulated the walls as well. So I put kind of like rock wall stuff in the walls. Again, really thick, probably too thick. I put 100mm in there. The problem is if you put too much in, you're going to end up with the insulation not working properly. But to be honest, I've been in the snow, it works. We put the floor down. This floor was from B&Q. I think I paid, I don't know, 15 pounds or something for the floor. The 25mm insulation in there, and the battens were something like 17mm or something. Whatever it was, it equaled the same. So when I put the insulation in, it all fit perfectly. In fact, whatever it was came up to 25mm, something like that. I can't remember. So we did that. We then laid out the van in lots of different ways. We'll go to the back for this. We laid the van out in lots and lots of different ways, because initially, for those that can remember that have been with the channel from the start, the bed was across, but I wasn't sleeping. I was getting pains in my glutes. I just was not having that. I went to Scotland and I literally didn't sleep. So we had to take the bed out and put it sideways, and when I did that, I actually cut some slats in the side like they do with the Sprinters, but without putting pods on the side, to see if that made a difference. And it made a small difference. I was able to sleep a bit better, but I kept smashing my head on the top of the whatever they're called, the indents. So yeah, we scrapped it, put the bed down the side. I went away and I slept all night, and I woke up with no pains, and it was absolutely perfect. So the reason I wasn't sleeping was definitely the bed. So we went for this bed. Again, this has been done lots of different ways, but in the end we went for a bed that pulls out. So this does pull out. So we've got 2 bits of string on here, and that pulls out into a double bed. There's no supports on it, but the last time I tried it, it worked fine. So obviously you can get a good night's sleep. I had some cushions here that were the same as this, and they went across the back. It looks quite nice to hide that where this big lump is, and that's why the cushion's there now. But I think what happened was, as I've told many people many times, is I probably got drunk too many times where I just didn't pull it out and fell asleep on here, and I got used to sleeping on the single bed, so that's what we've gone with. But for the lucky buyer, whoever buys this, obviously the bed will pull out, and if they want to put cushions along there and have those cushions there as well, then they can do. Whew, it's hot in here. You might not be able to see that because it's an LCD display, but it's jumping between 30 and 31 degrees. The bed is about 2 meters 10, I think, something like that. So normally I just put the cushion to the back and lie myself down, and there's plenty of room here. I can even stretch my feet out, so there's no dramas at all with that bed now. It's perfectly usable. This thing, I've not worked out what to do with it. I was going to put a little shelf here, but it would have cut into where my hip is. And obviously when you're lying on your side, your backside sticks out and then your knees stick out, and it would have been a nightmare, so we just left it as it is. The next thing we did was bought a kitchen unit. Why did we buy a kitchen unit? Because I cannot do carpentry. I can, but it just looks naff when I do it. So yeah, we sacked it off, and I noticed a lot of people have kind of units that only come to here, which is fine, but I wanted a full-size sink, and believe me, it's worth it every single time, because without the full-size sink, you're faffing in a little thing, you'll end up with water everywhere, and all you'll think about is, I wish this sink was as big as my sink at home. I did have a smaller plastic sink that I countersunk into a worktop. It was a little bit smaller, and I had the same problem with it, so I thought, you know what, when I actually decide how I'm going to have the van laid out, I'll definitely have a full-size sink. So that's what I've done, and I have cut the units all back, so they do sort of go back a little bit. I think originally they would have come to about here, so there's definitely more space than what there would have been originally. Inside the cupboards, obviously I'm actually away in Germany here, so everything is crammed in because I'm away with my daughter, but inside the cupboards in here, it's kind of that's wastewater, it's, well, grey water I should say, and then we've got a bit of like cleaning stuff and things like that in there, some tools. On this side, this is our clean water, and this would have had the shower coming out of it, which goes into there, but I managed to pull the cable out of it yesterday, so I need to go to the camping shop tomorrow and sort that out. So yeah, we've got fresh water in here, we've got some bowls and stuff behind, I've got a pan here, some charcoal, my cooker's here, my spare gas is here, and we're all good to go. I quite like that cupboard, nice and organised. This cupboard is the food cupboard, not very big, but it does the job. So I've got all sorts of bits and bobs in here, some condiments, some noodles at the back that have been in there since I put them in there. I've never used them, and then this one's a bit of a mess, but yeah. And then pots and pans are in there. Plastic, recycled plastic, I might add, rather than ceramic or pots or china, whatever you go for. They're lightweight, so that's what I've gone for. You'll notice as well in all the cupboards I've taken out some of the floor space. That's to stop things sliding around everywhere, because I had a tendency to push these doors open. Obviously I've got the normal catches on the doors, the magnetic catches, which do help. Only just. And then obviously every man's favourite drawer, the gadget drawer. So in here I've just got all the usual stuff, so stuff to do with cameras and charging, and a couple of bits of essential tools that I need to get to at all times, passports. What else is in there? Yeah, obviously loads of USB-C cables, different types, and then I'm not going to show you what's in there because I've got bank cards and stuff in there, but that's kind of like my little man pot. What I found I was doing all the time was opening these cupboards to get stuff, and I thought everything that I need to get to more than once or twice a day, I'm going to leave out in a pot, and all of that stuff is here. So I put it all up here. So that's all my cooking stuff, my coffee stuff, you know, normal sort of knives and forks. Again, I've gone for recycled plastic, not that I'm trying to save the world or anything. Coffees, fresh coffee, instant coffee, all sorts of stuff. So if I can't be bothered to use the coffee pot, I can just boil some hot water. I don't have a heater in here, a hot water heater. I was going to put one on the back door, but I'm selling the van, so I've got no interest in it whatsoever. But I was going to have a gas heater fitted to the back door, with hot water coming through and everything. But honestly, right now the process for cooking is dead simple. It's dead simple. So we just obviously turn the gas on like that, and we've got a pan here, and then we fill it up with the water from the shower hose that's missing at the moment. We've got a fold-up table as well, which is cool. Not going to go into any details on that because everyone's seen them before. We got a couple of little pockets around. There's one there, and there's one at the back. So that's all cool. We've got behind here, we've got all of the electrics, or the battery at least, and a diesel heater. Again, I'm not going to go into any sort of great detail about that, but they're all under this little box here in this spider's nest. I stopped the video because our little friend's come back, but I think I might have missed him. There's a bird around here. It's under the van, which has got a broken wing. and leg. Van tour paused. Let's see if these German birds like bread. And a sore leg. In fact, its leg and its wing are damaged. What else have I done to this van? Got some BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tyres. When I went to Scotland, people were getting stuck in the snow, local people were getting stuck, and when it got dark for a bit of fun, I decided I was just going to go out for a drive in the snow. I made an excuse to go to the supermarket, but the truth be told, I just wanted to go in the van in the snow. So I've decided the best thing to do when we're covered in snow is go and get some beer. And yeah, the front bumper acted as a snow plough and the tyres just went straight through the snow, which was great. So no issues with those. I've got a blacked out window, and on the other side I've got these sort of kind of homemade blinds which sit on here permanently. So all these is a double ply cardboard, so your real strong thick cardboard, and I've carpet lined it on this side. Now I've bubble wrapped it, foil bubble wrap on one side, foil bubble wrap on the other side, and then over the foil I've also put carpet as well. And again, just got these magnets that hold it in place. When I did this, I liked the look so much that I've actually never taken it off. So I'm not even sure if I want windows on my next van, which I know sounds crazy, but I actually quite like the dark look. Whenever I've done any sort of home decorations or anything like that, it's always been sort of dark and rustic look, so I may just keep it like that. So maybe I will put a window in it, or maybe a window that slides, but I quite like the fact that it's completely covered up and nobody can see anything. I don't want people seeing in my personal space. I tried to keep the van as light as possible, so everything I've done has been really lightweight. So the walls are plied, and no, they're not. The walls are not plied. The walls are covered in the cheapest cladding that I could find from B&Q, which is really lightweight, and it's worked a treat. I've not had any issues with it whatsoever. It looks nice. You'll notice there's two different colours. The first colour I really liked, and then for some reason I decided to do the roof a different colour, and I actually like that more. So if I was going to redo the van, I would take out all of the cladding, which sounds like a big nightmare, but it'd probably take an hour max to take that out. It's just a few screws, pull it all out, it's all done, and then I would replace it with that. And again, same for this side, and the cladding's on here. If you are building a van and you're watching this for some ideas, one tip I will give you is think about decor after. Build the van first and then decorate afterwards. Your walls are there for decoration. That's what you look at all the time, and you want them to look nice and everything. I did all the walls, and then I cut everything out, and then I changed it again and cut it all out and moved it all around, and then in the end I think there's only the first two or three pieces of ply that remained the same. The rest of them have been ripped out because they've been cut to different shapes all the time. So depends how you're building your van, but if you was doing it like I've done, I would probably build everything, get it all right, and then do the walls. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but build your walls in after, because everything else is hidden. Underneath the bed, there's nothing behind, it's just foil behind it. So yeah, think about that. Make sure you don't buy loads of wood and cut it all up and buy more wood over and over again like I did, because you're wasting your money. The bed has got some Durafoam in there, got it from eBay. It's cut into sections so I can lift stuff up and get to things. Under here it's kind of like a bit of a, just a little bit of a mini storage here. So I've got shoes and cleaning products here. I've got a drawer which contains, it's got a bit of wood separating it, and it contains jackets and running stuff behind there, and then clothes, underwear, things like that in there. I've got the toilet under here, which is easily accessible. It pulls out, turn it round, do your business, and put it back away again. Obviously that comes out really easily and slides around everywhere, so when I when I go driving anywhere, I take Amika's cushions that she sleeps on and I put them on the floor there, and that stops all the cupboards opening. So any of these that feel like they're going to open and close, they can't. And for some reason this one just doesn't, and I think it's because it's got that in the top. And that, by the way, is toothbrushes, toothpaste, all sorts of bits and bobs in there. Sun cream for Amika, all the usual stuff. We said we haven't got lights in here. We do. We had some LEDs on here which were on the side of here, but with the heat they've fallen off, and to be honest I never really used them. My favourite lights are these fairy lights, which are I think they're about £3 or £4 off Amazon. They take 3 batteries. If you ran these on permanently, they will probably last, I don't know, probably last about 2 weeks before they actually go dead. So they last a long time. These are the same batteries in here that I had from Christmas, and these were attached to the house. I only took them off just before I came on this trip. They were still on the outside of the house. Got loads of different settings on it, but I always go to number 8, which is permanently on. And yeah, depending on what I'm doing in the van, I've got lots of different things where I can just sort of take them round, hook them onto bits and bobs, wherever I want them to be, and they just add that sort of like nice little touch. I quite like them. And Amika loves them as well, so that's cool. So I think that's it. I'm sure I've missed tons of stuff, and that's probably because I built the van so long ago, I've actually forgotten what I've done. Oh, this little cabinet, by the way, wasn't here. There was actually like a little sort of box here that lifted up and you could get to things, but because I had the power station with me, I didn't want the power station sliding around anywhere. I brought the coffee machine and the toaster, and yeah, it just made sense to quickly knock this up. So I did this the morning before we came away, so I already had something built up. I just adapted it slightly, threw it in, screwed it to the wall, screwed it to the bed, and it's pretty solid. Obviously the weight's at the bottom anyway, it's only the coffee machine that's here, and that's fine. So yeah, before I sell this, I'll either rip it out, because I'm not sure whoever buys the van will need this, or I will just leave it in and they can have it if they want it. But it was built for my Valetti more than anything. So I think that's it. I'm going to call it a day there. I don't think there's anything else to discuss. Amika's stuff's in the front. One of the reasons I'm selling this van is because when Amika comes with me, we've got so much stuff. So you can see out the back, I've got the paddle board, which has got all sorts of stuff in there, not just the paddle board. I've got Amika's bike, I've got 2 chairs, we've got a whatever it's called, windbreak thing there, that's what that is. The scooter's behind there as well. So everything ends up on the floor in the van, which is completely unsafe, because if we ever had an accident, that stuff's just going to end up in the front of the cab, and we're going to end up either squashing the front of the cab or out the window. So yeah, I'm going to get a bigger van, probably sleep acrossways, loads of storage at the back, loads of bed storage, seat storage, kitchen unit with all storage in there, and then be able to put some stuff above here. The reason we haven't got stuff above here is because if we did, I'd just smash my head off it constantly. So yeah, we are lacking on space massively, so I'm really looking forward to getting a bigger van very, very soon. I think that's it. I don't know what else there is to cover. If I've missed something, put something in the comment, ask the questions in the comment, I'll cover it, I'll answer the questions. And if I need to make another video just to cover certain specifics, like people have asked me like about the internet quite a lot, so I might make a dedicated video on this. When I get my new van, identical setup, I will not change anything. It's absolute gold. I'll put the links to all the things that I've discussed in the van, whether it's been in the video, I've mentioned it, or behind the scenes and I've just not spoken about it. I'll put the links in the description, and then there will be affiliate links. So obviously if you're going to buy something, use the link, because I'll get like a few percentage, which obviously helps. Truthfully, just do what you like, it makes no difference to me. The van, by the way, is mega. I've had no problems with it reliability wise. I was going to service it before I came away, but I didn't bother. Serviced it not that long ago. Before I sell it, I will service it, I will MOT it obviously. But yeah, it's been an absolute diamond driving over here. It's really nice to drive, it's comfortable, there's no problems with it whatsoever, it performs well. I get about 52 miles to the gallon out of this. It's a 1.6, so it's pretty cool. And that's on the highway, by the way. If I do it around town, I get about 33. And if I drive like a lunatic around town, then I'll probably get about 28. So it's really economical. So I'm getting my mind programmed for paying twice as much, because obviously the bigger the van is, The heavier it is, the more fuel it's going to use, the more stuff you're going to put in it, the heavier it becomes again, the more fuel you'll use again, etc, etc. Right, thermal curtains. I didn't mention the thermal curtains. Yes, I did. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. It is what it is. I absolutely love this van, but unfortunately, when Amikas with me, there's just too much stuff, and we need to upgrade to a bigger van. But it's probably going to look not too different to this on the inside. If you got this far, thanks for watching. This is a real rush video because I'm getting rid of the van. I'm on holiday. As soon as I get back, this van's for sale. There's nothing more to add on this. Leave some comments, please. Let me know what you think. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about.